Hi, good morning. Okay, so today I want to talk about mainly like signature programs and signature offers and the importance of having one of those in terms of selling and bringing in clients with a lot more ease and a lot more clarity. Um, because a lot of your business in many ways is going to be built around this signature process or this signature offer or the results that you are bringing to clients. And I want to bring this up because this has been like kind of like an ongoing conversation that I've had. I think like last week I had that conversation in some form or another with at least three people. This idea of we as healers, holistic practitioners, and transformational coaches, a lot of us can literally help so many different people. We can help them in so many different ways that it feels counterintuitive to niche down or to offer or specify about like one result because it feels like we're going to be leaving money on the table or it feels like we're going to be turning away potential clients. And research shows, successful people shows that it's actually the opposite, especially online, where there's so much competition. And so, the way today is going to go, I'm hoping this is not going to be a very long live, but the way today is going to go is essentially I'm going to tell you a lot of what I'm going to talk about is why this is important and how like having a clear result or a clear idea of who you're serving, what problems you're solving for them, what what you're helping them create in their lives, and having maybe a signature system or process or offer that you help them do that with, in what way this is so fundamentally important for the growth of your healing or transformational business. So that's going to be the first part. Is I'm going to tell you why it's so important. And then at the end, I'm going to give you like essentially the things you want to think about and you want to start putting together to create your signature process, your signature offer, your niche in some ways. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ilsa Contiadair. I am a soulful success coach. I've been a therapist for a very long time as well, and I essentially help spiritually conscious, transformational leaders, healers, coaches, holistic practitioners, therapists, anyone who's in the transformational field and is here to be a change maker and to help people grow and change and evolve and heal in some ways. So I help these people who are amazing at what they do a lot of the time, but are not always great at marketing themselves, creating tangible offers, and finding a really easeful, joyful way to bring in their ideal clients. So I help them find their own unique paths to more clients, more impact, more money, and a lot more ease, a lot more joy in the process so that they're not overwhelmed and they're having the success that they want to have and that they deserve to have for the transformation they provide. So that's me, and I'm in the process right now of creating a retreat, and this is going to be a retreat. It's going to be a free retreat, at least, at first, but for transformational leaders, for healers, holistic practitioners, transformational coaches, to essentially marry energy and strategy and bring in clients, fill their books, fill their schedule, fill their programs with a lot more ease and a lot more joy. So if that's something you would be interested in, just put hashtag retreat in the comments or message me to find out more. And then I'll just put you on the list. I'll send you the info about it. Okay, so let's get started with this topic. By the way, say hi to me if you're here, whether you're here now live or you're here on the replays. It doesn't matter. say hi, let me know if you have a signature process or who it is that you help. I always like to know, and I always respond back in comments. So people, and this is the first thing to think about, people rarely buy the modality that we sell. So people don't buy Reiki, they don't buy sound healing, they don't buy therapy or life coaching or even really business coaching. Um, People usually buy a result that they desire. So, you know, Reiki, coaching, healing, therapy, when they buy that because they think that that's what's going to get them to where they want to be. It's kind of like buying a plane ticket. None of us, well, most of us, don't buy a plane ticket for the plane ride. We buy a plane ticket for the destination. We buy a plane ticket because we know or we feel like this plane is going to lead us to the destination, to where we want to go. It is the same thing with transformational modalities. People don't buy hypnotherapy, they buy what they think hypnotherapy is going to get them. So it's important to have a sense of that. And this is why having a signature offer or having a clear, tangible result is so important. When, this is especially true online, because when you really are clear about who you serve, what problem you help solve, what desire you support your people in creating in their lives, then you're going to rise above the noise and you're going to set yourself apart. Because what happens when you have a signature system or you have a program or you have a clear result, people are going to feel like they can't get that anywhere else. You know, when we're talking about Reiki, or we're talking about sound healing, or we're talking about hypnotherapy, you are one out of so many out there. Or business coaching. I do business coaching. I mean, there are so many business coaches out there that if I just sell myself as a business coach, I'm lost in the noise. I'm lost in all the movement of what's happening. Why should somebody work with me over someone else? What's going to put you apart? What's going to set you apart? And what's going to help you rise above the noise is if you have some clarity as to how you're different and what it is specifically that you help people get or transform in their lives. When the other thing to keep in mind, and these are all the reasons why it's important. When you're selling your modality, you might get people, especially if they don't quite know about it, or maybe they've tried a few times, they want to try you out. They might get a free session. They might get an introductory session, and if you're lucky, maybe they'll get a couple more. But when you're selling one session at a time, or you're selling the modality itself rather than a very specific result that you have for them about what you're going to give them specifically and where they're going to go working with you, what happens is that you're continually under the pressure of selling more. When they're done with that session, then you've got to sell the next one or the next one or the next one. And you're going to sell and explain to them why it's important for them to continue, and what they're going to get the next session that they didn't get this session. When you're selling one session at a time, or even small packages at a time, then you're also under this pressure where you continually have to give them the right experience so they continue. And what I mean by the right experience is that it can't be too little, or they won't see the value and won't want to continue. But it also can't be too much. If you're giving them too much, then they're going to have so much to work with that they're not going to want to continue because they feel like they got what they needed. And I actually have a lot of my clients who come to me and say, Ilse, my work is so powerful that sometimes in 1 to 3 sessions, people kind of feel like they're full and they want to just play with what I gave them and see what happens, and they don't continue. When you have a program, when you have a signature system, what happens is you're not selling those sessions, you're selling the outcome. And if people want the outcome, then they have to commit to the program. You define what that looks like. Maybe your program is 10 sessions. Maybe it's working with you for a whole year. Maybe it's working with you, for 6 months. I have a client right now. She does essentially intense work. Her program is a year long. She does intense work for 3 months, then supplemental, slightly less intense work for another 3 months, and then for the last 6 months, she does like once a month kind of thing. But what happens is she's literally set herself up where people commit to that full year. When she starts working with someone, she knows that she's going to be working with them for a full year, rather than, crossing her fingers that after a month or after a few sessions, they're going to want to keep working. What that does is it creates ongoing revenue, and it removes this sense of, I have to get the next client and I have to sell. You essentially, with a program, the program sells itself. The results sell itself, and you don't have to do nearly as much work to get people to commit and to move, because they want that tangible result. And if you are clear about your process, you can explain to them why it's important that they do it this way, including why maybe they haven't had the transformation they've been wanting in the past. They haven't had that transformation in the past because they haven't been doing it your way. So that really helps you move forward. And I mentioned that, but a clear offer does the selling for you. Having a clear system, a clear program, a clear result, and being able to be very comfortable in how you explain that and in your messaging of that essentially does most of the work for you. By the time people speak with you and hear your offer, they want it. It becomes a significantly easier yes for them, even if it's a little more money than they expected. Having a clear, offer or system or result that you solve will also make everything else in your business easier, because it will be the foundation for your brand. It will be the foundation for your content. It will be the foundation for the flow and direction of your marketing, rather than being all over the place. So if you are a hypnotherapist, for example, well, you can help people to stop smoking, and you can help people with trauma, and you can help people with pain, and you can help. There's so many things you can do. Same thing with a Reiki healer or a sound healer, or even a therapist. I was a therapist for 15, I'm still a therapist, 15, 20 years. A lot of I could help couples, I could help individuals, I could help with anxiety, I could help with depression, I could help communication skills. I've helped people with substance abuse. I've helped people all sorts of ways. But what happens when we do that, what happens to our content, is we're confusing our audience. One day we're talking about this, one day we're talking about that, one day we're talking how we can help this person, one day we're talking how we can help this person, and no one actually feels like you're talking to them. And this is the thing to keep in mind, is a confused audience does not buy. So they might enjoy one video or one post you make, but if they want help with their anxiety, or they want help with visibility, or they want help feeling unstuck, then they're going to go to the person who literally talks about that all the time. So when you have a clear offer, when you have a clear result, then you set yourself up to become the expert, the authority in your field, in your niche, and you make it a lot easier to create content and to direct your marketing, so that you're literally calling people to you. You're building that know, like, trust that is so important online. And to be recognized as an expert, to have that authority and to differentiate yourself online is extremely important to attract high quality, committed clients and to be successful. If you are lost in the sea of being like everybody else, then you will be in a lot of competition and you will struggle to attract your perfect clients. I'm reading my notes, seeing if I'm missing anything. So this is another thing I want to talk about in terms of content. When you are clear on your system, on your program, on the results you serve and who you serve, what happens is, as stated, your content gets clearer, your brand gets clearer, your authority, your expertise gets clear, your marketing gets clear. What that leads people to do is, by the time they get on a call with you, they already know almost everything they need to know about you to be ready to move forward and work with you. What that means is, by the time they get on a call with you, they know who you are. They know what kind of problem you solve. They know who you support and who you help. They know that you can support them. They know that how you're different from other people. Essentially, you've already set up the container for them to be ready to move forward and for them to essentially want to move forward with you. If you're talking in general terms, you have to assume that the people who are getting on a call with you don't actually know yet whether or not you can help them and whether or not you're the right person, which is going to lead to you wasting I was going to say a shit ton. I'm going to say a shit ton of time, because you're going to end up on a lot of calls with people who are not clear that you can help them and you're the person for them. And you're going to find yourself trying to prove to them on that call that you are the person for them. You do not want to do that. You want, by the time you get on a call with you, for people to be really clear that you solve the problem they have and to really get a sense of who you are, so that most of the work is already done. Then when you're on that call, which is why, when I talk to people and I say, hey, get on a call with me, I offer soulful success activation session. These are not sales calls. They're for you and I to meet and for me to help you get to that next level. So many of the clients who get on that call are 3/4 of the way decided that they want to work with me, and I don't have to sell. I just have to give them a great experience, get to know them, make sure they're the right fit for me. And 95% of the time, people ask me at the end, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about what you offer and how to work with you? And it makes my process so much easier. I don't have to do a lot of work in terms of selling. By the time people get on a call, they know me, they know I can help them, they know what they're going to get from working with me, and they're already halfway, 3/4 of the way there. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about money, because this is the last piece of it, right? Is when you are selling individual sessions or your modality, then you are in competition with everybody else who does the same thing. So if you're a Reiki healer and you're selling Reiki and the benefits of Reiki, then you're in competition with every Reiki healer. Same thing if you're a therapist, same thing if you're a hypnotherapist, same thing if you're a sound healer, same thing if you're in card divination reader, or I have a client of mine who's an angelic healer. Like, essentially, when you are selling your modality, you are in competition with everybody else. You're a life coach, you're in competition with every life coach out there. You are a trauma coach, you're in competition with every trauma coach out there. I'm a business coach. If that's the only way I differentiate myself, then I'm in competition with every business coach. What that means in terms of fees is that if they're a little cheaper than you, if they have a little more experience than you, if they're slightly more magnetic than you, then they have a leg up compared to you. And you do not want to do that. You want to be in a position where it doesn't matter who they are, what they charge, what they do. There is no competition, because what you do is unique, and what you do, only you can do. And the results you bring are very specific. And so there's no competition. There's also no competition with money. When you have a signature system, a very clear problem that you solve, you simply can charge more and have that recurring income. You can create a program that's longer, in depth, rather than going by sessions or by small packages. And people will just simply pay more for it because people don't pay for the modality, they pay for the results that they want. So transformation is always more valuable than your time. And a lot of healers, a lot of transformational coaches and leaders are still stuck in that paradigm of charging for their time rather than for what they create. So, for example, if you're selling 10 life coaching sessions, that's not going to be as valuable as selling a program that essentially says, I don't know, I help you potty train your toddler in no time with ease and joy. People will pay for that significantly more ease than they will pay for 10 coaching sessions. Or maybe you help people with ADHD, so you can sell a package of 10 sessions, or you can sell a program that says, hey, let me help you turn your ADHD into your superpower so that you can command a higher salary and become an authority in your company. Suddenly it's like you're letting them know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to turn the ADHD into an actual superpower and show them how to get a raise and how to become an authority in their company. That is significantly more valuable than essentially selling 10 sessions, 5 sessions, whatever it may be. And, I could go on and on. Like, same thing. If you help people who are struggling with loneliness or in their relationship, you can sell them 10 sessions, a package of 10 sessions, or go one on one, or you can sell them a program that essentially say, hey, I'm going to help you release all the wounds around love and activate your magnetism so that you can finally attract the love of your life and have the intimacy and connection you deserve and desire, regardless of your age and regardless of your past. That's significantly, it's a little long, but it's significantly more tangible. And you can tell them, I have a process. I'm going to take you through a process. If you want that love, if you want that connection, if you want that true long-term intimacy that you've been looking for your whole life, then work with me for this time, for this period of time. And in my program, I will do XYZ. Suddenly, you're not trying to sell one session at a time. You're literally working with someone for 3 months, for 6 months, for a year to give them that result that they so long for. And that is so much more powerful and valuable than selling a package of X amount of sessions. Same thing, right? 5 hypnotherapy sessions is less valuable than, hey, work with me and I'll remove any fear you have of flying so you can finally go on that vacation that you've been dreaming about. Or a holistic practitioner, hey, selling 10 session package, or hey, work with me in my program. I'll remove all the blocks and the imbalances that are in your system so you can finally get pregnant with ease. Like, that is so much more powerful, so much more valuable than 10 sessions. So that's the thing you want to keep in mind is people do not pay for your modality. They pay for the results and the special way you will help them get those results. So let's talk a little bit. That's it, right? Like, I literally I'm fully booked at this point in my one-on-one. And I have done that by getting clearer and clearer and clearer in my message. And I can see that. I can see that over the length of my career is when I'm too wide, I attract less people. When I'm very clear as to what my clients want and what I can help them create, whether that is I help you create a signature offer that sells itself, whether it is I help you create your own unique marketing system that is easeful, joyful, and doesn't involve any tech or any big launches or any yucky thing that you don't want to do, or whether it is I help you put together a scalable program or a program where you can work less than 20 hours a week. It doesn't matter what it is, or I help you create content that literally attracts people to you without with ease, and that so you can fill your schedule. When you're specific as to what you do, you will attract clients with significantly more ease, and you will set yourself apart, and you will command higher fees and longer programs so you don't have to hunt for the next clients, and a recurring form of income, which is what we all want as transformational um, healers, practitioners, coaches. So when you're ready to start really focusing on that program and figuring out what is your niche, how do you clarify that result? I have a few things that I want you to play with, and that will help give you direction. So my dogs are barking. I think somebody just rang the bell. So when you're trying to decide on the direction of your work and creating that signature offer, here are the things you want to focus on. The first thing you want to ask yourself is, who do you love to work with and talk to? You want to kind of get a sense of who it is that you would want to spend a bunch of time with, because the idea of creating this business is that your programs, your one-on-one sessions, your contents, who you're interacting with and Messenger are going to be these people. So you want to enjoy them, you want to like them, you want to be able to relate to them. So getting a sense, and it doesn't have to get super specific. I can get specific with clients, but when you're just starting, just figuring out, if I had the business of my dream, who would I want to have most of my conversations with? What kind of people? Number two, you want to ask yourself, what problem do you feel not only passionate about solving, but actually confident and skilled at? So you want the thing, again, remember that once you have the clarity on how you support people and what kind of problem you solve, a lot of your content online, a lot of your marketing, a lot of your conversations are going to be around that. So you want to make sure that the problem you pick, the thing you're helping them create, you're passionate about, and that you feel pretty confident and skilled at helping them do that. Because if you're not passionate, if you don't feel confident, if you're not skilled, you'll sabotage yourself. You won't want to share, you will struggle with showing up, and it's just not going to work. So, that's the number two, is you want to make sure that you're passionate about this problem or this thing you're helping them create, and that you feel confident and skilled with it. And this goes with the passion, you want to make sure that the transformation or the result of the problem you're solving, that you actually feel lit up about, and you feel comfortable talking about. Oftentimes I'll tell my clients, if I called you and I said, hey, somebody just dropped out, I've got a spot to talk for half an hour to my audience for like in an hour, would you like to do that? I often tell my clients, if I said that to you, what is the one thing you would want to talk about? And oftentimes that's a pretty good indication that that's the kind of thing that you should focus your work around, because you're going to have a lot to say about it. You're going to enjoy talking about it, and it's not going to feel like a drain to come up with content around it. Another question is, what is something you think you can do better than others in your industry, or differently than others in your industry? So it have to be something like that. Either you're looking around in your industry and you're like, yeah, all these people are skipping a step, or they're not doing that, or they're not focusing on that, and their clients are not getting results, or the way I do it is different in this way or that way. So that is going to really help your positioning. That's going to really help when you're creating content, when you're doing your marketing, when you're talking to clients or potential clients, to explain how you're different. And it's always easier when you have a process or you have a system that sets you apart, and you can say, hey, the reason you haven't gotten results with all these other people is because of this. I look at this and I look at that and I do this with it, and I get clients results. So that's another thing you want to look at, is how are you better? How are you different than your competition, than others in your industry? What makes you unique? And then lastly, and this is slightly more general, but if you think of your career, if you think of everything you could create, what do you want to be known for? Like, what feels really good on the inside? This idea that you would become the expert in. It feels good because it lights you up again. It feels good because you feel skilled at it, but it feels good because it feels aligned with your soul and aligned with something bigger that you have to share. So those are the things to consider when you are creating your signature system, your offer, or your niche. Is who do you love to talk to and wouldn't mind spending a bunch of time um, helping? What problem do you feel passionate, lit up about, that you feel skilled and confident in helping your clients with? What's something that you can do better or different than others? In what way can you do this better or different than others? Um, are you passionate? Do you feel lit up? Could you talk about it at the drop of a hat for half an hour? That's going to let you know if you can create content about around it, and what do you want to be known for overall? What is the legacy you want to leave behind overall? And making sure that your niche, your program works in that overall big legacy. I'm going to look around. I haven't seen any questions. I'm just going to make sure, because I don't always see questions or comments on my personal page when I go live with StreamYard. So I'm going to make sure that I don't have any comments that I haven't seen. No, I haven't seen any comments. Anyways, if you're still here, if you're seeing this, say hi. And then this is what I have for you. If you want help clarifying your niche, if you want help clarifying your message, bringing everything you know into an amazing offer or system, then I would love to chat with you, and I'd be happy to support you with that. You can just put Soulful Success Activation Session in the comments or hashtag brainstorm, and I would, you and I can get on a call for an hour. Like I said, it's not a sales call. It's me helping you get some clarity and some confidence so you can take that next step. And then the last thing I want to share with you, which I shared at the beginning of this live, is I am putting together a one-day retreat. It is the first time I'm putting it together, so it will be free. And this is going to be a retreat for healers, holistic practitioners, transformational coaches, wellness providers, essentially transformational leaders and change makers, so spiritual conscious entrepreneurs in the service-based industry. And the whole point of this retreat is going to be the merging of the right energy with the right strategy to attract clients and essentially get filled, like fully booked with clients, or fill your programs with clients. If that's something that feels interesting to you, then put hashtag retreat in the comments or send me a message on Messenger, and I will put you on the list and give you the details. Okay? All right. It was lovely talking to you. I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.